Okay, it's a big day here at disciple3d.com. Had a massive release of products over on Daz3D today. Pop over to daz3d.com/graybro and check those out if you would. The bulk of my video content today is going to be on that subject, but I didn't want to leave this interesting project alone. So we're going to pop back onto this one and see if we can make this hair really do what we wanted to do, as far as the deformation. So what I kind of think I want to do here is start with a cylinder. So we're just going to create a cylinder, create new primitive cylinder, make it about 5, 5, 25, 25. Um, we want to get this thing where it needs to be to help us out. Obviously orientated and positioned thusly. So we know it's going to fly down here. Well, actually, let's just get it in the ballpark first. Easier to move it while it's big, and then we'll worry about sizing it down when we get it where we can see it in our camera and the position we want it to be in. So right there, just real easy. Kind of go ahead and get it in the ballpark. So this is going to come down to animating this cylinder in such a way to put the hair wherever we want it to get it to kind of do the last bit of the simulation, sliding down the side, if you the slide, if you will. Um, so nothing too harsh. Sometimes this will blow a simulation badly, and it might do that here. So we'll see. But we're just going to kind of experiment. Uh-oh. Right. Actually, this tree is in the way. Let me just turn that off. Okay. So you can see that I just want to take this and I'm going to keyframe this cylinder. With the cylinder selected, I'm going to, at 1, hit the keyframe. Give that a second to really load in there. And in the meantime, take you guys over and show you something really cool. Again, I'm going to do a dedicated um, uh, video to this later. But yeah. So here's what the fuss is all about. My new character family, which is Oswolf HD masculine for Genesis 8, 8.1, and 9. Here's what you're looking at. Yeah. Pretty cool description, but you get all the character presets and 2 skin options for all those different characters. And for all those, you also can apply the shapes individually, which is a big deal for me. And I always really push for that with my developers when I develop characters. I was really inspired by the film Underworld, where the character Michael gets bit both by a lichen and a vampire, and he turns into this sort of like a dark skinned, ripply muscled vamp wolf type character that I liked a lot. And I didn't see anything in the Daz world like that. All morphs can be applied individually or with a single dial. So you can isolate the left and right arm and leg to get like a hand, for example, doing the famous transformation scene from American Werewolf in London, where he looks at his hand and just the hand is transformed. That sort of a thing. So that's what this graphic's sort of showing. Very Ripley muscled body, very bony fingers with long claw extensions built right on. Same with the feet. I find lots of times people really neglect the toenails. So yeah, we thought it would be cool to do that. Um, just checking these out. Checking them out. Now this right here is done with hair made in DAZ Studio, generated hair. Here's an example of just seeing the one hand applied. And again, just the one hand and the one foot applied there. That's supposed to be a character based on me and Face Shin, a Genesis character, I believe, over there in the corner. And here, obviously, Silent Hill inspired, but I just wanted to show how like one side could one whole side could transform, or just a hand or foot. And there you have it. So that's the Oswolf HD masculine, and then the feminine looks really cool too. I'm real happy with how she turned out. Um, so let's just pop into the promos and check those out. Stride and muscles throughout, really cool slender nails. Diversity of character. There's the toenails. A little zoom in on the toenails. Same deal. Individually apply the morphs or all at once. You could apply just the teeth to any other character and it's going to look great. By the way, this is the hair that I submitted, which was rejected. Rightfully so. It's not quite up to par, but that may be finding its way to you in a freebie very soon. And really, really loved how this turned out. The teeth look awesome. Heavily inspired by the Ozzy makeup from the album Diary of a Madman. That he did a really cool werewolf makeup, and that was the source inspiration for this. Very cool, very cool. Proud of how this turned out. I don't think there's any character out there just like it, actually. Um, and then, of course, I had to make at least 2 pose packs, guys. And I'm proud of these too because I put a lot of work into them. These were made entirely by me, not with a developer. I did these. And here I tried to feature that hair because I really wanted that to make the cut, but it didn't. And this hair obviously is meant to look like Ozzy on the cover of Diary of a Madman. I'll make sure you guys can get your hands on that if you really want it. Just not sure how. It's not going to be through Daz, so. But yeah, makes a very cool vampire character. Obviously uses any other Genesis 9, 8, or 8.1 textures. Here he is as kind of a vamp mummy, vampirized mummy. Pretty happy with that. This promo's turned out great. And then the last pose pack here, we'll just look at these. And just, I like to include poses that work with some props. I'll do more of this, except for Daz makes it very difficult to actually have presets to load in another product outside of your product, even though it's a Daz product. It throws a certain kind of error if you don't have it. And I've been told that you could do that, but so far when I tried to do that and set it up, they only see the error, they don't see the intent. So they never let that pass. So I've had to kind of abandon this, but these will work. And I do mention in the description for the character which products I use for these. They're not required, but they definitely will work. Again, trying to push that hair. Like there's a wheelchair, there's a medical stand. Obviously there's a really sweet coffin there that I use. Um, yeah, I thought these were somewhat different. Not exactly like any poses I had seen out there. Well, this one's fairly generic, but most of them are stuff like this. The poses that I looked for and was not able to find. That's how I always kind of base it on. And of course, these fit all the characters that Oswolf supports, Genesis 8 through 9. Very cool. So here are the name of I put a note down here, as you see. The props are designed to work with props. The poses are designed to work with props from the Bad Judgment Cemetery, Wild West Graveyard, and the hospital products, but do not require them. There you go. Anyway, I hope you guys will check that out. Pop back to the video now and see that we have stored our keyframe on the cylinder. If I were to dive into this, you could see it, but don't know how much detail you're going to be able to see there. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is slowly move through this animation and make sure that the hair gets pushed to where I want it to be. Now, at this point, I think I'm probably going to want to scale down and move this guy. Okay, we're going to put a keyframe right there. This may not work. It might make a huge explosion. It takes a second to save the keyframe. It's always kind of a thrill to scroll through and see your products on the home page of DAS. I can't help but note that my poses are not on the home page, so I don't quite know why. I do have hide items I own unchecked, but for whatever reason, I'm not seeing those poses up on the home page. But anyway, I mean, I guess they're intended to appeal to people. No, there they are. Duh. Spoke too soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, right in a row. There you go. Let's hope we get a few sales, guys, so I can do this again. This is interesting looking. Always have to take a little time to check out. It's kind of like a suit of webbing. Wow. Interesting concept. So now we got that, and I'm just going to move this along and again put the cylinder precisely where I want it. Now in theory it should be having all the hair on top of it right about there. I'm going to hit that keyframe again. So that should be good. And by now, the hair should kind of all be on top of that. Wait a minute. Let's go back here. So yeah, it made it to 45. Make it there. So, you know, it should collide with the sliding board and the the cylinder. So I'm hopeful that that will. Okay, that worked. And now we're just going to take it down here, and I want the cylinder to be completely out of the picture. You know, beneath all this by there. Now we'll rewatch it real quick to make sure the movement is what we want before committing to the simulation, I guess. So we'll go back to the beginning. Just watch it. Well, I do see a small problem here. It's getting too small too fast. So maybe right here, I could, I'll add another movement so that I'm sure I got the hair, you know, before. It gets too small. Okay, that should do it. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Now we're going to just run the simulation, you know, see how it goes. Oh, one thing I did want to do is on the hair, there is actually some presets with this awesome hair. I think I mentioned this is my favorite hair. That's saying something because I have about I don't know, collection of a couple hundred hairs probably that will work through AutoFit on. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go over here, check this. That gives us that shaping. Here we go. And we want it to ultimately be all behind her. So that will affect, there we go. That's kind of what we were looking for right there. So now let's watch this simulate. Oh dang, I just realized something. Is it actually going to hit that? You know what I might need to do? I might need to move her a skosh at the starting position so that her hair does not, I repeat, does not hit that. Let me do that. So I'm going to do this with her. There's already a keyframe there, so it should just... Oh, come on, really? Come on. Man, the hair just falls immediately. Bam. Is that our old simulation? So let's do this. We'll putting a keyframe on a figure takes longer because obviously there's a lot of hierarchies to drill down through, I guess. Okay. Let's see how we do here. Okay, let's try it. I think for the starting position, we can go a little bit higher. Give it more of a chance for that hair to fall on there. And let's just simulate this and see what happens. Simulation. I'm going to have to write up my description and press release, so to speak, for Oswolf. Hello, AI. Looking at some Claude AI or some Chat GPT help because I need to write a really good one for this guy. It's a good release day, and I normally don't get good release days, unfortunately. It seems like I just have the worst of luck. For example, if this character had released on the same day as that amazing looking Brimstone for Genesis 9 character that Ron just dropped, that would suck. I mean, that would really suck. There are no other, that I can tell, character releases today. There are some like supporting things for other characters, like the hidden enemy for Void Lurker and um, other support, Osak for Brimstone for Genesis 9, but no characters themselves have been released, so I'm thankful for that. Very cool. Oh man, the looking at that really cool add-on for Void Lurker called Hidden Enemy for Void Lurker by Sade, who I work with a bit. She's pretty cool. She makes some really neat textures, and there's one texture in particular that I really freaking love. I'll have to put that on my wish list for after Embargo. Void Lurker was one of my final purchases before I'm actually going to reach out to her and ask her if she'll give me a copy of that. She's really been nice to me. And it's cool, having a relationship with developers like yourself. Of course, they don't. Everybody has their own niche, so to speak. But let me see if I could get her in here. I think I do. I just offered her my Oswald stuff, and hopefully she'll hook me up with those with the enemy textures there, which I think are all her. If they're a partnership, oh, I might not be able to do that. That's a partnership with HyperTap. Okay, well, whatever. They look good anyway. Um, so we see that our animation, our simulation already has kind of fallen off what we wanted it to do. The hair fall fell so quickly, and I don't know if the cylinder at this point is going to take it with it. It's just weird sometimes how it chooses to pull D-Force items. Hmm. Now I don't like the actual angle of this camera, but I'm going to let this one run out. Super not interesting video material, just watching this simulate. Sorry about that. Um, I'll pop over to MeWe. I've been trying to be mindful about posting on MeWe a bit more. It's just a friendlier place, really. Less oversight, if you will. You guys can find me, by the way, on MeWe as Brent Bowers if you're interested. I do post some unique content over there. Long time running. What am I gonna do? Taking a minute. Taking a minute to render. Okay. I don't know if I'll try to do anything for the Christmas season. I feel like I did land on this releasing at the right time, which part of that was by design and part of it was by accident. Really, it should have came out like a month ago, but with that product, that one product being denied, they actually communicated that to me, and I responded. I thought, but they never got the message that I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Just drop that one and let's release the rest of it." And so I finally had to open a ticket for it. But to their credit, they responded immediately and scheduled me a release date within 3 or 4 days at a time when I know people are being backed up like months because Daz has become so popular and they got so many great vendors now that just Daz upon a time, like if you take the example of Stonemason, and I'm sure Stonemason does pretty well now, but Stonemason used to drop a product like 6 times a year maybe, and I am sure based on what I know he must have made at that time because I was, in communication with other vendors. This is before I became a vendor, but I worked with some folks, and based on what they would make, one guy in particular I'm thinking of, but I'm not going to divulge who that was. And he was into making these really, really good textures for I think it was V4, and the kind of money he was pulling back down. This is like 10 years ago. Um, I know that Stonemason would have needed. He would have been unless there's something I don't know about with like after you reach a certain level, he'd have been making over like 240 a year, 240K a year. So he could be on a boat somewhere doing his work. I mean, only releasing 5 to 6 products a year, but they're doing so well. But now the competition, the whole scape has changed. Uh, I think any kind of a publicly traded business is going to have a lot of pressure to keep those profits up. And when um, anyway, it's the landscape has changed, and so now you get into these scenarios where, like, even the best of the best, I'm talking like the top vendors there, Dreamlight and some of the others, their products are released occasionally at really deep discounts, and they always get to a really deep discount. But I mean, Daz knows what they're doing, I imagine, but it's just changed, and so I've made the most money I've ever made on a single product at Daz by a long shot. But that other people saw what I was doing, emulated it, were able to do it faster and maybe better, to be fair. And that happened to me a couple times, and I was like, well, there's no point in innovating here for products because it's just going to be taken over by somebody that's got a great photography studio or what have you. And so it's changed, and a guy like me, only marginally talented, I just didn't have the ability to compete. So I decided not to compete, and I'm just kind of staying in it right now, to be honest with you, to be on the inside of the new stuff coming out and getting a chance to get the figures beforehand. As a guy who potentially might make a pose pack or something like that. But as far as developing characters that I have to employ other people to help me with, I think this might be my last one. Unless, I mean, it could all change. That could become, really, really successful potentially. If this becomes successful, I'll try to do the same thing next year, releasing a family product like male and female with a couple pose packs, and we'll see. But it took a huge investment of money up front, and I won't see that money back for some time. So yeah, it is what it is. Check. Jerry Jang, I am a fan. Let me just say, I wish I had a reason to use stuff like this, but it reminds me of like Goldar and Ultraman and the classic live action superhero shows with kaiju that I watched a lot as a kid that all came from Japan. Um, this looks dope. If I could think of a story, to render, that'd be wild. Clothes, poses, hair. Taiwan. Oh, Taiwan is so cool. I got some friends from Taiwan. Quite the style. Quite the consistent style. We are 15 minutes into this simulation, and I do apologize. It's really, really boring to watch this stuff go for so long. Um, it's probably about it's probably about to the point where I should just kind of kill this video and come back when it is done. It looks like we're getting some result, but I really kind of have to let it go to the end. It's a little bit boring. I guess I could edit this down after the fact and maybe just keep going and see what happens. Watch what happens live. Cool. I made a render. I think this is gonna get closer to what I thought. I have to wait to see it from the other angle. Um, we're at 73% after 15 minutes. I'm gonna see this one through. Maybe I'll edit it down to speed this up a little bit. I'm gonna just kind of switch back to browsing DAS in the meantime. Staves of Magic. That is beautiful right there, that armor. Let me see which outfit that is. It doesn't show it. Darn. Darn. What is this outfit? I feel like I own this. Oh man, that's a problem. That is amazing. Talking about the outfit. Character doesn't look bad either, but doggone it. Let's type in Egyptian. Ah, I do have it. Wow. Look at that gorgeous D-Force right there. Man, man, this is. I can get down. I can get down with this. I can definitely get down with this. This is something I need to. I need more of this kind of outfit in my life. I love it. I love it. Fefe cool yellow. Man, cool, cool, cool outfits. Had to get this. Had to get this pro pack. This well, for one thing, I think I already own these because these are the best weapons out there. Polish. I'm pretty sure I already had that when I bought the bundle. I was like, shoot, getting the bundle anyway. And then the specific Bryce Tech, Brytex, Bryce Tech, Ritic. Those look cool too. Have not used those yet. Dang, these look, especially those guns with the mounted flashlights. Gosh, so little time, so much I want to render. Man, that is one tight promo right there. Really impressive. I really admire people like Vicky Leversage that are hedge witchery that can make those incredible promos. I occasionally get a nice one, Ron's are all pretty solid. Big Ron fan. I'll eventually own his whole collection just because I if I don't if it's not something that I gotta have that now, I wait till it's on sale. But his stuff goes on deep discount. Um, this is a guy that I am glad makes a living doing this because he fills a niche like nobody else does, in my opinion. I mean, there are other types. Let's see, Oso is another guy that does some really cool stuff. Um, Look at that. That's clearly, inspired by Legend, by Darkness from that Tom Cruise film Legend. And also, if you'll notice, the morphs, this is him saying, and the fact that you can morph them individually, not just all cut off, but just one, that's him going, oh, here's your character to build your Hellboy off of. So that is really cool. I'm totally going to get this character just after Embargo. Embargo! Oh, Facebook. Let's see here. Just checking out the old interwebs while our simulation is at 73%. So far, though, Embargo 2023 is working. I am actually, oh, here we go. Somebody's already asking about the full body hair. What is the full body hair? Example for illustrations. Oh, that's cool. Hey. Doing a little bit of customer support here. Okay. Man, we were still at 75% on that simulation. By the way, guys, that is how you embed an attached document inside of your post it as without having to host the image on another site. You attach it, save the text, save the post, then go in and find where that image is actually posted at. Then edit your post. I find that I just think in the case I could sell that on Renderosity, but I just like the idea of giving it to people, particularly anybody that buys the Oswolf. But yeah. Okay, so let's look back here at our simulation and see what's happening here. Man, we are 25 minutes in, and I think it's safe to say I really want to let this run and see. It's 45 minutes into the video. I really don't want to stop it now. I want to see what happens. But I guess what I'll do is just turn off this camera, leave it on the view to see the simulation, and then I'll just speed that up however much I need to when the simulation itself is done. I'm going to mute my mic and do a little work here on the side.
Small towns in North Carolina that you need to visit, part 1. First on our list is Albemarle, North Carolina. It's a great day trip from Charlotte. Every Saturday from May through October, they have
Well, guys, it looks like we're stuck at 75% and we haven't moved for like the last 20, almost 20 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it right there. I'm just going to cancel this um, simulation. We're going to move the camera around and see what's up. Fail Army. I feel like it's going to take another attempt to just start this over to get it to do what we want it to do. But I do have another plan. We have the finishing pose we want. And so there's some things we can do. But if this will cancel and not like totally crash out. Oh, it's a wolf. Maybe locked up because it is not canceling, not responding. No! Crap, crap, crap. Okay. Well, wasted a lot of time on that one. Let me stop this and we'll come back and see if we can fix the problem.